basically for the research, as this is the first chapter and totally introduce base related to the research point of view. The points which are required as like significance, as like motivation, as like definition of research, that I have already discussed with you. Now today we'll start with just start the recording. Okay, now today we'll start with the methodology of research. In that methodology, we are going to learn what is method and what is methodology. These are the very important points. So we have seen this research approach, significance. Now research method also we have seen. Now research methodology. Now basically methodology means what? It is the procedure to fulfill the objective that we called as a methodology. Remember this. It is the procedure which can fulfill the objectives.
Hi God.
Yes.
Huh?
Hello. Okay, so this will be the procedure, that is sequential procedure, which will complete our target, whatever be the decided target or research gap, that is called as a methodology. Now, in case of the methodology, there are the various tricks to write the methodology, because many times what happened, the students think that methodology means we'll have to adopt any kind of the methods. It is not like that. The method which are required as per the objective defined. So that we called as a basically methodology. Now, while defining the methodology, sequence is very important parameter. Why? Because suppose I am given the objectives in a sequential manner. So I should follow the methodology in case of the sequence only. In that, suppose as I told you the example of we can check the aerodynamic profile of the four-wheeler. In that case, my objectives would be first design or develop designing of the aerodynamic shapes. First objective, and that will be designing according to the research paper. I will have to check what kind of the design actions are going on. Second thing, we'll have to study that things. What are the existing aerodynamic design for the particular car, and I am going to do new thing. What parameters are different in that new and old one or existing one, that I should form. So this will be the objective. In that case, my methodology will be literature review, research paper study. Second, in the case of the aerodynamic calculation, I would say my methodology will be design the principle or suitable principle I will have to apply. And same in case of the manufacturing and development. So that sequential manner, we need to develop a method. We need to develop the procedure to fulfill our research gap, that we called as a methodology. So here are the some cases they have mentioned. I'll read. The methodology is nothing but it is a way to solve a systematic research problem. Systematic means it is in a sequential manner. Then science of studying how research is done scientifically, and what is the logic behind the research. Of course, the literature review work on this, or this will be the parameter related to the literature review. Then the researcher must be aware of research methods and methodology. Now, in upcoming slides, I'll explain about methods and methodology. But right now, for this slide, we must know the methodology. Methodology is nothing but the procedure. Methods means these are the options. 4 or 5 methods are available. Out of that, I need to follow one. That we called as a method selection. And in case of the methodology, I will have to use a suitable procedure for the completion of my research problem. Then research methods are part of research methodology, of course, because out of that methods we are going to select one, and we'll have to work according to that respective one. Okay, so this will be the part. Then how to use the statistical tool and their relevance. This is very important. Many times what happened in case of fluid mechanics, the students are calculating viscosity, the parameters which are required related to the oil or fluid, but many times they have not at all used the Reynolds equation. Why? Because they are thinking that this kind of the statistical more complicated will be there, because lot many integrations are there. They have reduced the problem and they have reduced the steps through that integration and all that. So that's why many of the students have prefer analysis, directly go to the ANSYS. They have applied the tool boundary conditions and they have done this their analysis. But whenever I ask about the correlation or comparison or validation regarding this tool and actual calculations, so they don't have such kind of the answer. They don't know, or rather the equation of the Bernoulli's, why it used and what is the purpose. Basically, if I compare or if we compare two things, that whether analysis or principles. So first of all, basically the laws, principles have made firstly, and on the basis of that analysis are generated, rather developed, correct? So that's why we'll have to go from scratch. We'll have to go from the principle, laws, technologies, and then we'll have to move for the various modern technological tools. Okay, then research methodology is also related to the why a research study has been undertaken. This is very important. As I told you, we'll have to define a research gap keenly. Then and then we'll have to move up to we'll have to reach up to this kind of the steps. Okay. So why the hypothesis formulate? So hypothesis, as I told you, hypothesis means is kind of the assumptions, kind of the imagination which we are considering for the completion of the particular problem. So we'll have to make some analysis or some research problem need to develop the code, need to develop the formulation. So many times it is like that. Every formulation, every principle, laws cannot be suited at the particular point of time. So in that case, a researcher need to develop his own formula by using various tools. So very simple tool is Excel also, through which we can develop the formula for the graphs, for the readings easily. Okay, so this kind of the formulation also a researcher can do, and his he can able to give that formula his name also. So such kind of the things also there in case of the research. Many of students have not at all aware about this kind of the formulation development and all that. You can search on Google while developing the formula from the Excel for any particular problem. You will get the various videos, so through which you can develop your own formulation also, or your own methodology also. While you are working in industry, while you are working in academics, you are able to develop these things. Then the research methodology is nothing but how the data is collected. This is a part of the literature review. Of course, this will be first step of every methodology. First step, collection of the data, understanding the data, taking the reference of the data. So that will be the first and foremost part of this research methodology. Correct. Now, last will be why these methods are used. So we should have explanation regarding why we are adopted particular method out of 4 to 5 methods. So there kind of this kind of the study also required in case of the research methodology. So this is about the basic procedure. The crux behind this slide, I'll tell you that the procedure which can develop to fulfill the research gap, that is called as a research methodology, or the correlation in between objectives and methods or procedure in a sequential manner, that we called as a research methodology. So this is the basic things behind research methodology. Have you understood this? Tell me, have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So just write down these few points under the title. Keep your separate.
Yes, right.
Yes. Keep separate notebook with you always, and
Yes,
write.
sir. I have.
Okay. Okay, Arshad. Okay, just write down the points which are important, because everything is available in recording videos. No problem. I'm regularly upload the videos after completion of our lecture. But as a familiar with this subject, you have to write few points so that it will in your mind always. It is not like that something new I'm reading at the time of the examination preparation. In that case, so better you have to write a point wise. I told you the crux behind this research methodology, why it is used, and what is its importance with relation with the objectives as well as research gap. Okay, have you done this?
Yes, sir. Done.
Yes. Okay. Now we'll move toward the next slide. That is research methods and methodology. As I told you, method is different parameter and methodologies are different, because method means number of types of the methods which can be found by the researcher, and out of that we must select one and we stick to it, that particular method. So that is the number of methods are there. In case of methodology, we have learned in previous slide that it is the procedure to complete or fulfill the research gap as per the objective point of view. Okay, so what is research method? I'll just read here. Research method may be understood as all those methods, techniques that are used for the conduction of the research. Of course, what technique, what method conduction of the research, how I can get? Of course, basically by using research paper or literature survey. Remember, research paper study is very important. So I think if possible in next week, I'll take a session on research paper collection. What site we'll have to prefer, what data we need to prefer, what kind of the standard websites we need to collect for our research. That I'll explain in upcoming session definitely, because a research paper study is very important. So lot many time is of course that waste in this reading of research paper and all that, but it is not like that. It is the give, it will give the ways how to find the problem. So that's why research paper collection is very important. Then the methods the researcher use in performing research operation. Of course, out of number of methods we'll have to select whichever be the suitable for us. Now how we came to know that which method is suitable? It is number of parameters are there according to availability of the instruments. This is very important. Suppose someone has done the research on something by using the FFT analyzer, by using the various technology, industrial technology. And right now I am academician and I am not able to use the industrial technology, industrial tools. So in that case, I should go for another method which is suitable for me. Understood? So that is the kind of the performing research operation through this method. Now, research methods can put into the following three groups. So there are the three groups they have mentioned. The first group, we include those methods which are concerned with the collection of the data. Of course, while selecting the method, it is not like that I am interested in selection of the method and the automatically the methods are come in front of you and out of that you are going to select. It is not like that. You have to find the methods. You have to go to the parameters of that particular methods. You have to choose the parameter according to your requirement. Understood? So this kind of the first group. In case of the second group, as I think we have studied this thing, that sufficient collection of the data and limited data we need to study, and out of that we'll have to find out the single one. It is not like that I am referring for this 2020 research. I am referring since 1980s data, and through which in this 30-40 years I have selected the research paper. So you have get a lot many methods. Out of that you need to select. It is not like that. You will have to study the last 5 years research paper. That's it. Because whatever be the crux, whatever be the development are occur, that are within 5 years only. Because if someone has done the research in 1980, of course, in worldwide, any researcher have done something improvement in that in between these 5 years, recent 5 years. Understood? So this kind of the research method we need to select through this. Now the second group are consist of the statistical techniques which are used for establishing relation between the data. So here the comes of the principles and laws and formulation we need to directly use, or else we have to develop. So will relate it to the data. So this kind of the things are we are considering for the methods. Now third group is related to which are used to evaluate the accuracy of the result. Now, how we can evaluate this accuracy of result? There are the condition like percentage of error or error analysis. Anyone knows error analysis? Anyone knows error analysis? Okay, I'll explain. So of course, while I'm developing or I'm preparing some results from my research problem, how I can get the idea that these results are positive, these results are okay, these results are validated. So this can be get only by validating the things or comparing the things with respect to current or existing mechanism. Understood? So there will be the connection in between existing mechanism and developed result. So on that basis, I can say my results are more accurate. And while studying these results, we have to take a various references, their outcomes, and we need to check their parameter with respect to selected parameter, our technological point of view. And if there is a correlation in between 5% variation is there, plus minus 5% variation is allowed. Okay, then I can say my results are accurate. Understood? If my results are more than 10%, more than 6% variations are there, so I need to change the methodology. I need to develop new things from scratch. Again, we'll have to develop. We can say it as a trial and error method. While trial and error method, what we are going to do, we'll have to use various methods and we'll have to take the practical trials, and through which whatever the result comes, that we need to correlate, that we can say that the maintaining the accuracy of the particular results. So these are the basic three methods for the finding the research method. So first write down collection of the data, research methods mana, heading research methods. Just write down the first, second, third, and fourth line. Fourth line, just up to fourth line, you have to write what is research method, it kind of the techniques, how to select. So just write down these 4 lines. Okay, the important is first group, that is collection of the data, and moreover the groups are in same sequence: collection data, statistical development, and lastly result analysis. That's it. So these kind of the things which are common to every researcher, and that we need to use every time. Just let me know after finishing this write-up. Over.
Okay, sir.
Now, next slide, write down second group statistical and third group is related to the accuracy. As a term work of this subject, we'll have to write a research paper as well as a research study. So that session I'll also, I think, will take on Monday, sorry, Wednesday, with selection of the research paper. I'll share the screen and show you how to use of Google with various sites, how to find out the research paper, what parameters we need to read it, and how we can publish a paper, what kind of the journals are there. So this kind of the session I'll definitely going to take. And remember, as I told you, you have to contact with your subject teacher at least once in a week. Right now, the corona situation and all that. But if possible, if you are in Pune, you have to visit, you have to meet your respective subject teacher, collect the notes, either that is in soft copies or hard copies. So you have to take care of that, because what happened? The teacher will not call you, please collect the notes and all that. Understood? You have to meet him, discuss about your subject, the queries if you are having, take a books from your library also, take a notes from a respective teacher. So that is your rule, rather. At least you have to come right now as per the situation, at least once in a 15 days, you have to come here. You have to meet the thing. Satyajit is regularly meeting you. At least once in a week, he met me. Respective subject teacher also, he is having some kind of the discussion. The rest students are not. Ajay is also came, I think, in last week, but unfortunately I was busy, so we don't have any kind of the discussion. Okay, done this. Yes, okay. Now, this research methodology, the same thing which are written in again different word. The research methodology is a way to systematically solve the research problem. As I told you, systematically means sequentially. It may be understood as a science of the studying how research is done scientifically. Of course, inclusion of the laws and principle. In it, we study the various steps that are generally adopted by the researcher in studying his research problem along the logic behind them. Understood? Already we have written these things related to the research methodology. Now research method, as I told you, the various methods are there. Out of that, we need to collect hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. So these are the research methods. I'll just zoom it and you can see. The screen is visible to you. Let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Now see, in case of the research method, basically the various considerations are there. Out of that, we need to select. Now here, as we have seen the qualitative research and quantitative research, these are the types of the research. According to these types, we need to select the method. If the formulation of the problem related to the number of the research paper, number of quantities are there, and out of that, I will have to select the best one. So I can move toward the number of that quantitative research. In that, see, the quantitative research means the number of papers are available, number of researchers have done their research on this particular field. But as a researcher, still I want to develop something new in that, and I am studying that quantitative problem. So in that case, the various consideration, various methods are there. The methods are, see, the content analysis. Whatever be the researcher, they have taken the content parameters. I need to sorting. I need to sort out that content, and out of that content, whichever be the suitable for me. Understood? So many kind of the contents are there. The technologies or machineries are available in IITs and NITs labs. So many have done their research in IITs and NITs also by taking a special permission and all that. Suppose as a student like you, we are studying here in Pune University, and I have selected the same kind of the quantitative analysis topic, and I don't have that kind of the instruments available with me in nearby areas also, as like COEP, as like the VIT colleges, or as like government colleges nearby the Pune. These kind of the instruments are not at all available. So I need to sort the parameter. After sorting the parameter, I realize that these things, out of this 10 parameter, 2 parameter I'll perform very well in my area. Understood? So select that one, because everyone cannot study or cannot do the experimentation in IITs only or NITs only. Understood? So we can visit there, but not for long time or making the practical session over there. It is not like that. Understood? There are, but there are the chances, if you are interested, they offer some kind of the online courses, practical courses. In that you can enroll, and you can fulfill that content. So this kind of the content analysis we need to perform. Understood? So in case of the quantitative analysis, content analysis, after that sorting of the content, out of 10, we'll have to select 2-3 content for my research work. So the 2-3 content bazula kadaiche, we'll have to go for the experimentation. Now, while going the experimentation, I need to select the various consideration. म्हणजे the technology, the methods, the availability of the instrument, या सगळ्या गोष्टी, whether it is available or not, that we need to select, and according to that we'll have to take a experimentation. Basically, the experimentation depends on the content selection. Whatever be the content we have selected, use that content for the experimentation. That's it. Suppose I have selected the content velocity as a parameter. In that case, I will have to make an experiment on the basis of velocity as an input or velocity consideration. Understood? It is not like that I have selected the velocity and I am focusing on the design. I am focusing on the results. No, I have to consider that content in my experiments. Okay. So these are the basic two methods. Other than this, we'll have to use a secondary data. Now, secondary data means what? First of all, we learn primary data. Primary data means survey. We'll have to make a research paper. We'll have to visit some industries. We'll have to visit some academics where there is this kind of the research are going on. So this kind of the survey I will have to do. In that survey, there are again two types. questionnaire. We need to prepare a questionnaire. It is not like that I have visited the industry and just for the sake of teachers and syllabus requirement, I visit there and I am not making any kind of the report through that result, through that visit. No, you will have to prepare a questionnaire. You have to discuss with the respective guide. You have to get the solution out of that questionnaire. After that, the structured interviews means what? While visit in that particular institute or organization, you have to discuss your questions, particular question with that respective experts. It is not like that the guide is always expert in that particular field. No, understood. So guide give just path. So whatever be the questionnaire and their answer, the structure interviews, you need to discuss with that particular expert person. If he is having some kind of the work, then he will give you 2 3 their students. So discuss with their students, keep in touch with their students and sort out your problems. It is not like that in a single visit we can sort all the problem. No, we'll have to go the number of time, we'll have to do the number of time communication, we'll have to keep in touch, we'll have to research papers, we'll have to interchange the knowledge, also interaction in between the knowledge by the guide, their students and our from our point of view. So this kind of the things we'll have to do in case of the survey also. Now after that, suppose इससे भी कुछ बात नहीं बनी, here also some less kind of amount of the data is there, then we'll have to go for the secondary data. Now secondary data means what? It is the furnished data. Already someone has done the work and they have taken out of that work furnished work for their research, that we called as a secondary data. What we can say, thus suppose some industry have developed the gearboxes and that industry is long lasting since 1980. So in that case, we can say that there is a standard method for the gearbox manufacturing, and that suitable method is we can directly use because that already proven in this 20-40 years. So that we called as a secondary data or official statistics of the particular organization that we can see. Suppose some students are having many queries like, sir, whatever subject I have selected, I don't get any kind of the research paper. म्हणजे त्याचा अर्थ असा असतो की मी काहीतरी युनिक करतोय आणि त्याच्या रिलेटेड आजपर्यंत जगात कुठेच काम झालं नाही, तर असं नसतं होत. Understood. Somewhat likely come work is done by somewhere in our world. Okay, so that we need to search. Suppose तसंही करून आपण बघितलं and we didn't get any kind of the research paper regarding this, then we can move for the secondary data, that is use of the patents because already proven, use of the official website already proven, use of the standard companies visits, that internship will have to do, so through which we can get the data, that is called as a secondary data. So this is a one kind of the research method through quantitative analysis. Are you getting it? Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So in case of the research method, just write down right side चा फक्त लिहून घ्या जेवढा आपण समजून घेतले. रिसर्च मेथड 2 ब्लॉक करा, क्वांटिटेटिव्ह चा फक्त पॅरामीटर लिहून घ्या because we have understood this. Yesterday MSMB lecture was there. Let me know. MSMB चे lecture झाले का
Not
रे?
received the link. Actually, link is not received.
Okay, link is actually, madam, I think she is having corona. That's why since last 4 days she was absent basically. So she will cover definitely the remaining syllabus, the lecture which she miss out. Definitely separate timetable she will prepare and send it to you. No problem. Second thing, for advanced stress analysis, we are going to allot new person, new faculty member, which have recently joined. So in next week onwards, she will conduct the session. Because right now the existing faculty of ASA, that is Ritapure sir, he is busy in NB and in NAC works because he is the coordinator. But if suppose you want to take a notes, the important books, soft copies of that respective books, you can directly contact this Ritapure sir anytime, because already number of times he has taught this subject, so you can get a better help from him also. Now for elective case, I am damn sure that Gandigude sir is regularly conducting the session with proper PPTs and all that. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So because remember that in first induction program, I told you elective paper is set by only that particular respective teacher, huh? Because university is not going to interfere in electives. So whatever with electives, that paper is set by only Ashish Gandigude sir. So you just study whichever be the points, parameters he has explained. Just keep in mind and collect the notes. I think he in every year he has to perform separate group of elective in WhatsApp group, and he has to send the various notes which are more than sufficient for their subject. And related to the lab practice also, I think in last week, madam was not present. So I will tell her that please adjust the session, and whichever with the miss out lecture, she will definitely going to conduct. And the subject is related to the mathematics. Have you attended previous Saturday mathematics session? Anyone?
No, sir.
You should attend. I request all of you. You should attend because the mathematics is the only subject जो एकदा राहिला की परत निघत नाही बरं का. इट इज म्हणजे डॅम इम्पॉसिबल आहे. म्हणून मी प्रत्येक वेळी मुलांना सांगतो किंवा तुमच्यासाठी मी ते सॅटर्डेला 4 तास ठेवलेले आहेत, जेणेकरून इफ पॉसिबल तुम्ही इथं या, त्या सरांच्या पुढे बसा, ते ऑनलाईन घेतील, तुम्ही समोर बसून क्वेश्चनिंग तुमचं पण क्लिअर होईल डाउट्स. So remember, advanced mathematics is very important because this subject is particularly not related to a mechanical branch, but for the analysis and mathematical modeling, this subject is very important. So you have to report the Godke sir. I have allotted Godke sir for that, and he is having almost 15 to 20 years of experience in that mathematic field. So definitely you will get the things very easily. So don't miss the lecture, because last Saturday he called me that no one is there. So I told him that just conduct the session, record the session, and upload the session. Student can go through the recording and all that. But my point of view, for any subject like my subject, research methodology is okay. You can get the idea from the recording. But in case of the mathematics subject, you have to visit, you have to study in front of that respective teacher. Remember this always. So try to come on Saturday, meet me, meet your respective subject teacher, and attend the session. That is very important. असं नाही की बाबा या वीकला जमलं नाही पुढच्या वीकला या. तो कारण मेनी स्टुडंट्स हॅव टेकन द ग्रांटेड, म्हणजे लास्ट इयरचा एक्सपिरियन्स मी सांगतोय. मेनी स्टुडंट्स हॅव स्टील नॉट कमिंग टू द कॉलेज, and they have not filling the exam forms also. Number of times reminders from my end, from HOD end, number of mails are there, but some students have not taken as a serious things. याचा तोटा असाच होतो की त्यांचे इयर्स वाढत जातात मास्टर्स प्रोग्रामचे. आता बरीचशीच मुलं मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं हैदराबादचे आहेत, ते रेग्युलरली म्हणजे जर सॅटर्डेला त्यांना जमत नसेल, महिन्यातून एकदा येतात ते, पण जर जमत नसेल तर ते व्हिडिओ कॉल करतात रिस्पेक्टिव्ह सब्जेक्ट टीचरला आणि क्वेरीज विचारतात. रेकॉर्डिंग्स ऐकतात, त्याचे क्वेश्चनिंग असतं त्यांचं, म्हणजे दे आर सिरियस अबाउट देअर स्टडी. तर या पद्धतीनं या गोष्टी केल्या पाहिजेत असं मला वाटतंय. तर तुम्ही सॅटर्डेला व्हिजिट करणं फार, कारण सॅटर्डेला तुम्ही टाइम टेबल बघितलं, लॅब प्रॅक्टिस ठेवलंय मी आणि मॅथमॅटिक्स पण ठेवलं. पर्पज हा आहे की लॅब प्रॅक्टिसला ओरल आहे आणि मॅथमॅटिक्स हा सब्जेक्ट समवॉट क्रिटिकल असल्यामुळे मी ठेवलाय. म्हणजे तुम्ही सॅटर्डेला ऑफ असतो जनरली सगळ्यांचा, यू कॅन कम टू द कॉलेज. त्या पर्टिक्युलर सब्जेक्ट टीचरची ओळख होईल, तुमचं इंटरॅक्शन होईल, नोट्स कलेक्शन होईल आणि तुमच्या क्वेरीज सॉर्ट आउट होतील. अंडरस्टूड? कारण अप्लाइड मॅथमॅटिक्स ह्यूज सब्जेक्ट आहे. मागच्या वेळी आम्हाला प्रॉब्लेम मॅथमॅटिक्सला असा आला की युनिव्हर्सिटी हॅज डिसाइडेड दॅट विल हॅव टू टेक एमसीक्यूज. आता मॅथमॅटिक्स मध्ये एमसीक्यूज घेणं म्हणजे अशक्यप्राय बाब आहे, लक्षात घ्या. कारण म्हणजे इम्पॉसिबल आहे. तुम्ही व्हेरियस स्टेप्स करता, त्याचा आउटकम येतं आणि तुम्ही डायरेक्ट कसं पाठ नाही करू शकत, कुठल्याही ते आपण हे नाही करू शकत. तर त्या केसमध्ये आमचे एक म्हणजे बिडवाई सर म्हणून होते, त्यावेळी मॅथमॅटिक्स घेत होते. सो त्या सरांनी सेपरेट सेशन घेतले एमसीक्यूजचे. म्हणजे या माणसाने म्हणजे रिअली अप्रिशिएबल वर्क. फर्स्ट टू 6 युनिट त्यांनी शिकवले आणि जसं युनिव्हर्सिटीचं नोटिफिकेशन आले यार एमसीक्यूज आहेत, तर त्या केसमध्ये ते सुद्धा कन्फ्युजन मध्ये आले, मला भेटले. सो ते ही सेड दॅट सर हाऊ स्टुडंट कॅन मॅनेज दिस एमसीक्यूज, आय विल हॅव टू कंडक्ट द सेशन. त्यांनी परत 22 लेक्चर घेतले एमसीक्यूजच्या युनिट वाईज, आणि त्याचा रिझल्ट असा आला की माझ्या मुलांना मॅथमॅटिक्स मध्ये 90 मार्क आहेत, 90%. या रेंजमध्ये. दिस काइंड ऑफ द थिंग्स आर देअर. ऑफकोर्स वी आर हॅव्हिंग रेकॉर्डिंग ऑफ दिस थिंग्स. त्या रेकॉर्डिंग्स पण मी 11th आवरला तुम्हाला शेअर करेन, रिलेटेड टू द मॅथमॅटिक्स ऑल्सो. नाव यू कॅन लर्न विथ दिस गोडके सर, नो प्रॉब्लेम. बट साइड बाय साइड तुम्हाला जर पाहिजे असतील तर त्याच्या रेकॉर्डिंग सुद्धा मी शेअर करतो. ओके, सो दिस इज अबाउट ओव्हरऑल सिनेरिओ. ओके, सो क्वांटिटेटिव्ह अनालिसिस तुम्ही लिहिलं असेल. नेक्स्ट मेथड इज क्वालिटेटिव्ह अनालिसिस. ऑफकोर्स data selection is everywhere or data collection is everywhere required. Either any kind of the methods is there. So the research method is qualitative, in that we'll have to check the quality, finished outcome we'll have to consider, and on the basis of that we'll have to work. Of course content we need to study. Their kind of the content we'll have to study the cases, various cases which can be done by the researcher. Now case studies ह्या जनरली रिसर्च पेपर्स मध्ये नसतात. अंडरस्टूड? जरी असल्या तर त्या सिंगल लाईन मध्ये असतात, म्हणजे प्रॉपर एक्सप्लेनेशन हॅज नॉट गिव्हन बाय द पर्टिक्युलर ऑथर बिकॉज ही हॅज स्टडी थरोली. अंडरस्टूड? सो केस स्टडीज साठी तुम्हाला सेपरेट वेबसाईट, जसं की यू कॅन सर्च ऑन गुगल पर्टिक्युलर टॉपिक केस स्टडीज, डायरेक्टली टाकायचं, एंटर मारायचं, यू हॅव टू गेट. ऑर एल्स .pdf तिथं म्हणा किंवा .ppt म्हणा और .examples म्हणा, तुम्हाला गुगल्स मध्ये सर्च टूल्स मिळतील थ्रू विच यू कॅन यूज द केस स्टडीज. Okay, out of that case study, suitable case study as per our requirement we'll have to find. After that, informal interviews. So informal interviews are totally related with the industrial visits and the communication in between guide and you. Okay, so this kind of the informal interviews. Then use of the secondary data. Of course, in case of the qualitative results, we'll have to use a secondary data always, because we need to define the quality, and while defining the quality, it is not like that from the scratch I will start and I'll go for the new thing with respect to quality. त्या पर्टिक्युलरली एका वर्षात या टाइपचं रिसर्च वर्क होणं अशक्य आहे. कळतंय? So for that quality we'll have to refer always secondary data. Someone has proven these things and that we need to take, which are experimentally proven. Then observation is very important. As I told you, we'll have to visit various IITs, NITs, their labs, their modified technologies. We need to visit and we need to collect the readings from their labs equipments. So there are the two parameters. We'll have to make a participate in case of the online program, or non-participation in it means we'll have to communicate through mail, through phones, and through conduct the data. Okay, so this kind of the things we have to follow in case of the observation while using the qualitative analysis. Okay, just write down this. Okay, write down this qualitative research. Now let me know, as a master student, what kind of the research you are going to perform. Let me know, as a master student, what kind of the research you are going to perform. Sampada, can you tell me? Harshal? Anyone? मास्टर आपल्या ME प्रोग्राम साठी कुठल्या टाईपचा रिसर्च करायला पाहिजे आपण?
Experimental.
No, either quantitative or qualitative.
Sir, it should be qualitative.
Any another answer? Let me know. Tell me.
Quantitative.
Quantitative. Okay. So I'll tell you, both kind of the research will have to perform, but as per the availability, as per the facilities are available. Understood? दोन्ही करू शकतो आपण, पण त्याच्यात मी असं सांगेन, सजेस्ट करेन, मेनी टाइम्स व्हॉट हॅपन इफ आर रिसर्च प्रॉब्लेम इज डिफाईन ऑलरेडी. समजा तुम्ही इंडस्ट्रीत वर्क करताय आणि तिथलाच तुम्ही प्रॉब्लेम घेतलेला आहे. So in that case, I will have to say that should be the qualitative research, because we'll have to reduce our span to select the research gap. नवीन रिसर्च गॅप शोधण्याचा वेळ वाचतो, पण तुम्हाला रिव्हर्स इंजिनिअरिंग करायला लागेल. व्हॉट काइंड ऑफ द रिव्हर्स इंजिनिअरिंग? विल हॅव टू गो फॉर द रिसर्च पेपर्स and we'll have to correlate that research paper in a such a way that our problem selection is totally correct. So this kind of the things are there, and those who are starting from scratch, they have to use the quantitative kind of the research and then move toward or then switch towards qualitative. So this kind of the basically both the type of research are required, but as per the suitability or availability of sources. Okay, so one of the more slide I have added for methods and methodology, which I got from the source, that this is also same thing in case of research method and difference they have mentioned. So many times they can ask, write down this difference. Already we have discussed research method left side and right side research methodology. Just write down these points. I'll zoom it. The difference in between research methods and research methodology. Over.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, research and scientific methods. So we'll have to learn about the scientific methods. So scientific methods are related to the proven methods which are done by the experimentally, which are used the proper concept, proper laws, and which are committed with the objectives which already defined after research gap. Correct? And these kind of the steps we need to follow in case of the scientific methods. Understood? Scientific means already proven steps are there and we need to follow. We don't have to develop these steps. We don't have to analyze these steps. We just follow. Already someone has developed and that we need to follow. That we call as a scientific steps, scientific method. In case of the NASA program, in case of the launching the satellite also, what methods are defined? It is not like that newly developed methods every time. No, मटेरियल सिलेक्शन असेल, द कन्सिडरेशन असतील, अझम्पन्स असतील, त्या ऑलरेडी आहे तशा असतात आणि त्याच फॉलो केले जातात. त्याच्यात परत रिसर्च आणि अनालिसिस होत राहत नाहीये. अंडरस्टूड? जर सपोज स्टेशन्स आर डिफरंट, म्हणजे लोकेशन जर डिफरंट असेल तर त्या केसमध्ये मेथड्स बदलतात. ऑर एल्स जिथं काही काम चाललेलं आहे आणि जे ऑलरेडी प्रूव्हन आहे, इन दॅट केस सायंटिफिक मेथड सिक्वेन्शियली फॉलो होते. जसं की इथं लिहिलंय बघा, द सायंटिफिक मेथड इज based on the certain basic postulates which can be stated as under. Sequence are, it relies on experimental evidence. त्याच्यात एक्सपेरिमेंटचे पॅरामीटर परत बदलले जात नाहीयेत. एव्हिडन्स आहे, आपण ऑलरेडी केलेलं आहे, सो गो फॉर दॅट. Then it utilize the relevant concept, whatever be the relevant concept of that we need to follow as same as that of no any kind of the brainstorming or discussion over there. Correct? Then it is committed only the objective consideration, and lastly it result in probabilistic prediction. Now these kind of the scientific methods are changes where the modification always need to do, such as I'm launching new car every time after 1 year. So I will have to change the methodology. I will have to change the method, scientific method, because previous experience वरून त्याच्यात काय डॅमेज होते, काय प्रॉब्लेम्स आले आणि ते ओव्हरकम करण्यासाठी मला again I will have to go for the another method. And that kind of the scientific method is required wherever be the always kind of the developments are occur in that case. ठीक आहे. सो हे फक्त हा 4 पॉइंट लिहून घ्या. द सायंटिफिक मेथड म्हणा. अंडर दॅट यू जस्ट राईट डाऊन scientific method. Just write down the 4 points, scientific methods. Second. Now the documents those who have pending, I think this is design student. Have you done this?
One minute, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Done, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, next heading, criterias of good research. Criterias of good research. How I can say that this is the kind of the research which is suitable, which is good. So one by one I'll explain. Now, in case of the criteria of good, better, best, it is not like that. But how I can say that logically this kind of the research is work for the particular degree. So how I can say, there are the various parameters I have quoted over here. First, I'll explain. The research should be clearly defined. Now, clearly defined means what? Suppose I am going to design the brick system. In that, I will it should not be like the title is that design a brick system. No, understood. It is not at all allowed. That is not clearly defined. Designing of that particular brick type I will have to mention, and that particular type brick system. That is the clearly defined project. Design of the boiler. No, design of type of the boiler will have to maintain water tube, fire tube, boiler, and their type, whatever its name, according to that title will be there. Then we can say that kind of the research gap we can call it as a clearly defined. ओव्हरऑल जर जनरल डेफिनेशन जर आपण सांगत असेल टायटलची, इट्स ऑफ नो यूज. म्हणजे काय, डिझाईन ऑफ ब्रेकिंग सिस्टीम, दॅट इज नॉट काइंड ऑफ आर रिसर्च. अंडरस्टूड. So the clearly defined research should be there in a particular manner, so that we'll have to go on that path only. ठीक आहे. आता बरेचसेच मुलं काय करतात, युजीची डिझाईन अँड डेव्हलपमेंट ऑफ ब्रेक सिस्टीम. मग ब्रेक सिस्टीम कुठल्याही माहित नाही, मग ते सगळे ब्रेक सिस्टीम स्टडी करतात, त्यातली एक सिस्टीम घेतात, त्यातली एक सिस्टीम वर्क करून दाखवतात. सो याच्यात काय झालं, मग कधी कधी काय होतं, ब्रेक सिस्टीमच्या चेन, ब्लॉक डायग्रॅम, फॉलोअप कसा असतो, ब्रेक अप्लाय कधी होतं, मग त्याच्यात क्लच येतो, क्लचचं डिझाईन पण होतं, क्लचचं कन्सिडरेशन होतं, मग क्लच मारताना परत इंजिनचं येतं. सो यात थिंग्स ऍड होतात ज्या की अननेसेसरी आहेत. तुमचा रिसर्च हा डिफाईन पाहिजे की हे करायचंय, या पद्धतीनेच जायला पाहिजे. सो दॅट्स इट. ऑफकोर्स द रेस्ट पॅरामीटर्स आर इम्पॉर्टंट, बट we'll have to focus on the points which we have defined, that we called as a clearly defined research. Second, systematic. Now systematic means what? That is, it is achievable. Understood. Suppose air car is my research topic, it is not clearly defined. So I should define the systematic way, that study and analysis of air car, because we are not going to develop at our level, correct, at our level. So we'll have to study आणि जास्तीत जास्त मी अनालिसिस करू शकतो. हा झाला सिस्टमॅटिक रिसर्च. आय हॅव कोटेड इम्पॉर्टंट पॉइंट विच आय एम गोइंग टू परफॉर्म. अंडरस्टूड. कारण जर मी लिहिलं की डिझाईन अँड डेव्हलपमेंट ऑफ एअर कार, in that case there will be the trouble. External will ask where you have developed this, what kind of the material you have selected, how you have designed this, what reference you have taken. So that is not clearly mentioned. So that's why it should be clearly defined, and then we'll have to follow the systematic approach in case of the objective, in case of the methodology point of view. Then third one is empirical. Empirical research means what? We'll have to assume the things, correct? Assumptions are there. Empirical relation means what? Someone has done some experiment and he has developed some assumptions. That assumptions we directly copy for our research, that we called as a empirical research. Understood. So this is very important in case of the empirical research. So assumption generally piston cylinder मध्ये किंवा क्वार्टर जॉईंट मध्ये, नकल जॉईंट मध्ये, कपलिंग मध्ये assumptions असतात बघा, की बाबा डायमीटर 2 times बोर डायमीटर पकडा, outer diameter of the coupling will have to take twice of shaft diameter, stroke length is 1/5 of piston diameter. So likewise empirical relation or assumptions are there that we need to follow for the good research. Okay. Then research should be significant. Importance म्हणजे मी काहीतरी आता वेल्डिंगचा रिसर्च केलाय किंवा कुठलाही रिसर्च केलाय आणि त्याचा यूज तर काहीच नाहीये, नुसतं थेरॉटिकली आहे. बरेचसेच रिसर्च असे असतात, बरेचसेच. म्हणजे आता मला माझ्या फील्डमध्ये जर सांगायचं झालं, विंड ब्लेड डिझाईन मध्ये बरेचसेच रिसर्च असे आहेत की मॅथमॅटिकल मॉडेलिंग अँड मॅटलॅब वापरलेला आहे आणि त्याचे डायमेन्शन्स फाइंड केलेले आहेत. आता त्याच्या पुढं काय कधीच काम झालं नाही. म्हणजे दॅट हॅज नॉट डायरेक्टली सिग्निफिकंट विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू सोसायटी, विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू इन्स्टिट्यूट ऑर ऑर्गनायझेशन. त्याचा यूज कोणाला तर झाला पाहिजे, नॉट की बाबा मॅथमॅटिकल मॉडेलिंग केले, कॅल्क्युलेशन्स केलेत आणि त्याचा पुढे काही आपण इम्प्लिमेंट होत नाही. सो रिसर्च शुड बी सिग्निफिकंट. दॅट्स वाय इन युअर मास्टर प्रोग्राम रिसर्चची डेफिनेशनच ही आहे किंवा प्रोजेक्टची डेफिनेशन अशी आहे की स्टुडंट विल हॅव टू परफॉर्म डिझाईन कॅल्क्युलेशन फर्स्ट, सेकंड अनालिसिस, थर्ड मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग, फोर्थ डेव्हलपमेंट, फिफ्थ टेस्टिंग, सिक्स्थ व्हॅलिडेशन. या ज्या गोष्टी जो करतो त्याचा प्रोजेक्ट कम्प्लिशन आपण असं म्हणतो. दॅट वी कॉल्ड एज अ सिग्निफिकंट. अँड आफ्टर दिस कन्क्लुजन और व्हॅलिडेशन, व्हॅलिडेशन म्हणजे काय, एक्झिस्टिंग सिस्टीमशी आपण कम्पेअर करतो, म्हणजे ऑफकोर्स आपण काहीतरी चांगलं देतोय. तो त्या पद्धतीनं सिग्निफिकंट रिसर्च असायला पाहिजे. देन लॉजिकल. लॉजिकल म्हणजे काय, इट इज काइंड ऑफ इमॅजिनरी बट अचिवेबल थिंग्स. इट इज नॉट लाईक दॅट की जसं मी मगाशी सांगितलं एअर कार, आय एम गोइंग टू डेव्हलप एअर कार फॉर माय मास्टर प्रोग्राम. इट इज नॉट लाईक दॅट. म्हणजे इट रिक्वायर्ड, इट कॅन बट इट रिक्वायर्ड 2, 3, 4 years. तेवढा वेळ नाही आहे आपल्याकडे. अंडरस्टूड. सो लॉजिकल रिसर्च म्हणजे काय, अचिवेबल. द टार्गेट जे काही मी दिलेले आहेत, वॉट एव्हर ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह आय हॅव मेन्शन्ड, आय कॅन फुलफिल विद इन अ स्पॅन ऑफ टाइम. दॅट इज लॉजिकल. करेक्ट. रिग्रस. रिग्रस मीन्स वॉट, पर्टिक्युलरली क्लिअरली डिफाईन आहे आणि मेन फोकस 10 पॅरामीटरच्या ऐवजी 3 पॅरामीटरवर केलेलं आहे आणि त्याच फोकसनं काम केलेलं आहे. दॅट विल काइंड ऑफ द रिग्रस काइंड ऑफ द रिसर्च. ओके. नाव अनबायास्ड. Unbiased means what? Of course, unbiased means the important parameters are there, but I have not at all taken that parameter because that are somewhat lengthy and it required high study, more study. In that case, I will have to take a short parameter which are easily achievable and which kind of the project I will perform. Believe me, these kind of the projects are we can consider for ITI students. करेक्ट. म्हणजे आपण मास्टर लेवलचे जर प्रोजेक्ट असेल तर त्या लेवलचाच प्रोजेक्ट पाहिजे तो. जर तो ITI लेवल, कारण बरेचसेच मुलं करतात तसे ITI लेवल किंवा डिप्लोमा लेवलचे प्रोजेक्ट घेऊन येतात, तर त्या केसमध्ये ते काही म्हणजे तो रिसर्चचा पार्ट होऊच शकत नाही. नॉट ॲट ऑल. अंडरस्टूड. सो अनबायस्ड पाहिजे. देन सगळ्यात महत्वाचं इथिकल. सो इथिकल मीन्स व्हॉट, कॅन एनीबडी टेल मी इथिकल रिसर्च?
Trusted research.
ट्रस्टेड.
Trusted
येस,
and pure.
करेक्ट. ट्रस्टेड अँड क्लिअर. मी काय असं हवेत सांगतोय रिसर्च आणि तो होणार पण नाहीये, पण ऐकणाऱ्याला पण चांगलं वाटतं आणि करणाऱ्याला पण त्याला वाटतं की यार मी काहीतरी भरपूर चांगलं केलंय. नो, दॅट शुड बी द इथिकल. ट्रस्टेड, ज्याच्यावर बाबा मार्केटमध्ये काहीतरी त्याची व्हॅल्यू राहील, दॅट बी कॉल्ड एज इथिकल काइंड ऑफ द रिसर्च. हे सगळे पॅरामीटर्स आपल्या रिसर्च मध्ये असले पाहिजेत. सिस्टमॅटिक थिंग्स पाहिजे. जस्ट राईट डाऊन दिस. Just write down these are the parameter which should include that in our research case. तर तो फुलप्रूफ रिसर्च होईल.
Sir, what is mean by rigorous?
Rigorous money, whichever be the parameter we have selected, on that parameter, whatever be the study has been done by the particular author, so we'll have to go beyond that. First thing, how? By connecting that respective author. The how to connect? See, now one of the researcher from Canada is in contact with me. How? माझी आणि त्यांची काही ओळख नव्हती, but while doing the area same होता आमच्या रिसर्चचा. So in that case, the communication through mail that I am doing this and this kind of the innovation we can perform in this particular field which you have already did. तर त्यांनी मला रिप्लाय केला त्या पद्धतीने, विल डू इन कोलॅबरेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्ह्यू कॅनडा युनिव्हर्सिटी इन आर. तर या पद्धतीने माझे कॉन्टॅक्ट राहिले. मग हे काय झालं, दिस इज अ काइंड ऑफ रिगरस रिसर्च की बाबा व्हेरियस कंट्रीज त्याच्यात इन्क्लूड झाल्या. आता आपले जगताप सर म्हणून आहेत, त्यांचं फ्रान्सची कनेक्शन आहे, फ्रान्सचे रिसर्चर आणि ते हे मिळून दोघं प्रोजेक्ट चालू आहेत. दिस वी कॉल्ड एज अ रिगरस रिसर्च, ज्याच्यात अजून लोक इन्व्हॉल्व्ह होतील जे की त्या फील्डचे असतील आणि रिसर्च ओरिएंटेड ऍटमॉस्फिअर क्रिएट करतील. दॅट वी कॉल्ड एज अ रिगरस. अंडरस्टूड?
Yes, sir. Basically, a teamwork which is performing the research on same topic.
एकदम बरोबर, करेक्ट. ओके, झालं काय? Okay, now the criteria of
Yes,
good,
sir.
yes, these are the things we need to include in criteria of good research. हे तेच आहे, आपण लिहिलेलं आहे, फक्त ब्लॉक डायग्राम मध्ये होतं. सेम दे हॅव मेन्शन इन पॉइंट वाइज, नो इश्यू. नाव व्हॉट इज लिटरेचर रिव्ह्यू? कॅन एनीबडी टेल मी लिटरेचर रिव्ह्यू? बऱ्याच वेळा मी सांगितलेलं आहे, व्हॉट इज लिटरेचर रिव्ह्यू? What is literature review? Tell me.
Sir, we search. Yes, sir.
Research paper.
Check, to check the another project, investigate it, like that, which is related to our research or
Okay.
project.
Related to research, not say. Related to the area, we can say.
Sir.
Yes.
सर, आपण ज्या गोष्टी रिसर्च करतोय त्याचा आपण रेफरन्स कुठनं घेतोय किंवा काय काय घेतोय, त्याच्यासाठी कुठले बुक्स रेफर करतोय किंवा कुठनं डेटा कलेक्ट करतोय, ते सर्व लिटरेचर रिव्ह्यू मध्ये येतं.
करेक्ट, एकदम बरोबर. तर मी तुम्हाला एक जस्ट वेट, मी एक एक्झाम्पल दाखवतो तुम्हाला. मी ते येस शेअर स्क्रीन करतो. हा, मला फक्त सांगा, स्क्रीन दिसते का तुम्हाला?
हो सर.
नाव सी, सपोज मला ब्रेकचे डिझाईन बघायचे किंवा रिसर्च पेपर रिलेटेड टू माझा एरिया ब्रेक मध्ये आहे, समजा असं एक्झाम्पल, आणि आय वॉन्ट टू सर्च अ पेपर, सो आय विल हॅव टाइप डिझाइन ऑफ ब्रेक. नाव सायन्स डायरेक्ट इज व्हॉट? सायन्स डायरेक्ट इज अ रिनाउंड रिसर्च साइट थ्रू विच यू कॅन गेट द परफेक्ट रिसर्च, म्हणजे व्हॅलिडेट रिसर्च. फेक रिसर्च अजिबात मिळत नाही तिथे. जर तुम्ही इथे हे टाकलं फक्त बघा, सायन्स डायरेक्ट मी कट करतो, डिझाइन ऑफ ब्रेक्स, आणि पुढे मी म्हणलं की .pdf एंटर केलं, तर ह्या जे मला मिळतात रिसर्च गेट ही वेबसाईट आहे, या ऑथेंटिक नाहीयेत. अंडरस्टूड? वाय नॉट ऑथेंटिक? दे आर इझिली अवेलेबल, आणि मेनी डेटाज ॲज आय टोल्ड यू इन पब्लिकेशन पेड पब्लिकेशन असतात. किंवा मी असं टाकलं रिसर्च पेपर ऑन, ठीक आहे, हा क्लच आणि ब्रेकचा मिळाला. हे याची लिहिले बघा इथं, पीडीएफ लिहिले. दिस इज काइंड ऑफ पीडीएफ. IRJT पेड जर्नल आहे, ह्याची पीडीएफ, अनालिसिस पीडीएफ, ठीक आहे. या इझिली अवेलेबल, म्हणजे मी ओपन केला, सो आय कॅन गेट द पीडीएफ व्हेरी इझिली. सी, दिस विल बी द पीडीएफ. काय मला कळतंय किंवा डिझाइन ऑफ रिसर्च पेपर कुश सोनी म्हणून कोणतं आहे, मेकॅनिकल डिपार्टमेंट गुजरात, गुजरातचा पेपर आहे, आणि हा या जर्नलमध्ये पब्लिश झालेला आहे. ऑफकोर्स इझिली अवेलेबल जर्नल हे पेड जर्नल असतात, ठीक आहे. त्यांनी म्हटलं ॲब्स्ट्रॅक्ट, या सगळ्या गोष्टी मी तुम्हाला लिटरेचर रिव्ह्यूचं फक्त दाखवतो. हे जे आहे ना, हे पेपर इज कॉल्ड एज अ लिटरेचर रिव्ह्यू. यांनी 9 पेपर स्टडी केलेले आहेत, ठीक आहे, फॉर देअर रिसर्च. नाव आय विल गो फॉर सायन्स वेबसाईट, सायन्स डिरेक्ट वेबसाईट, ठीक आहे. कॉपी, हे तुम्हाला पण मी लागलीच पाठवतो, परत लक्षात राहील नाही राहील. ह्याच्यावर तुम्ही कुठलाही टॉपिक सिलेक्ट करू शकता, ठीक आहे. नाव मी पाठवले. सी, ब्रेक सिस्टीम, सायन्स डायरेक्ट वेबसाईट, मी सर्च म्हटलं, सो आय गॉट दिस. इथं काय लिहिलंय बघा, लो व्हेकल स्पीड रिजनरेटिव्ह अँटी लॉक ब्रेकिंग सिस्टीम, डाउनलोड पीडीएफ आहे, डाउनलोड केली. I got this research paper and this is authentic research paper. ठीक है. Now see, they have mentioned the things and आपण त्याचा references बघू. These are the kind of the results. Now see, the references किती आहेत? 1 to 18. 18 पेपर, आणि सगळे पेपर जर तुम्ही बघितले, ह्याच्यातलं तुम्हाला एक सुद्धा इंडियन ऑथर दिसणार नाही. नेव्हर एव्हर इंडियन ऑथर. आणि जर खरंच त्याचं काम तेवढं असेल तर इंडियन ऑथर एखादा असू शकतो, अदरवाईज ही सगळी बाहेरची मंडळी असतात. अंडरस्टूड? सो हे बघा, सो दिस काइंड ऑफ द, आणि पेड जर्नल्स मध्ये फरक काय आहे हे बघा, कॉमन लॉजिक, याच्यात तेवढं काही डिटेल्स दिले नाहीयेत. काम चालव काम केलेलं आहे बघा. So these are the 9 research paper they have referred and through which they have developed the structure. Now in case of standard research paper you can refer this kind of the analysis. आता हे जे ग्राफ्स टाकलेत याच्या मागे जवळजवळ 100 ते 200 रीडिंग्स असतात, प्रत्येक ग्राफचे 100-200, एवढा म्हणजे कम्युनिकेशन आणि एवढं त्यांचं कनेक्शन असतं त्या पर्टिक्युलर सब्जेक्टची. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ द थिंग्स. हे बघा, ब्रेक सिस्टीम प्रॉपरली एक्सप्लेन केलेली आहे, या सगळ्या गोष्टी, ठीक आहे. तर या पद्धतीने तुम्हाला हा डिफरन्स मी तुम्हाला समजावून सांगेन, आणि आपल्याला काय करायचं हे तुम्हाला क्लिअर पाहिजे, ठीक आहे. आपल्याला जर हे करायचं असेल पेड, याचा काहीच उपयोग नाही. म्हणजे इन फ्युचर जेव्हा तुम्ही गुगलमध्ये तुमचं नाव टाकाल तेव्हा हा पेपर, स्टँडर्ड पेपर जो आहे तो कायम येणार. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ द थिंग्स आर देअर, ओके. आता अजून दाखवतो, हे डाउनलोड पीडीएफ आहे. आता हा पेपर डाउनलोडच होत नाही, कारण इथं त्यांनी ऍक्सेस दिला नाहीये, पेड आहे कम्प्लीट. म्हणजे काय काय पेपर असे पण असतात, मग काय करायचं, त्यासाठी एक सायहब म्हणून वेबसाईट आहे, सायहब. So we'll have to visit that. Google मध्ये go for SciHub. So all over world चे कुठलेही पेपर इथे डाउनलोड होतात. पण डिपेंड्स, म्हणजे त्या टाइम स्पॅन मध्ये कधी कधी होतात, नाही होतात, पण होतात. तुम्हाला ते कंटिन्युअस वॉच करायला लागतो. आता बघा, हा कुठला रिसर्च पेपर होता, हा हे नाही होत आपल्याला, डाउनलोड नाही होत. याला मी काय केलं, सिलेक्ट केलं, त्याचं टायटल घेतलं, कॉपी केलं, इथं पेस्ट केलं, ओपन म्हणलं. ओके, नाउ हिअर इज द कनेक्शन दॅट दिस पेपर इज नॉट गोइंग टू ओपन. ठीक आहे, म्हणजे असंही असतं. पण हा पेपर ओपन कधी होईल, जेव्हा म्हणजे दिवसातून तुम्हाला 5-6 वेळा एकदा बघायला पाहिजे. आता ही बघा, ही दुसरी साईड आहे सायन्स हबची, तिथं होतोय का बघू. अशा 3-4 प्रॉक्सी साईड आहेत त्यांच्या. सो यू कॅन गो थ्रू इट अँड फाइंड आउट द रिसर्च पेपर, दॅट्स इट. त्या पद्धतीने तुम्हाला डाउनलोड होईल. आता मी चेक करतो जस्ट. अजून एक आहे, येस, ही एक आहे. इथं मी टाकला, ओपन केला, हिअर ऑल्सो नॉट रिस्पॉन्डिंग. म्हणजे या कन्सिडरेशन आहेत. हे काय म्हणजे परत हे करायची गरज नाही. यू कॅन सर्च ऑन सायहब एनी टाइम. ठीक आहे, आता हे बऱ्याच वेबसाईट आहेत. सायहब.डू आहे, सायहब.vk पण आहे. मेनी थिंग्स आर देयर. आपण चेक करू. .org पण आहे. ही एक आहे. नो, हिअर वी चेक. हे बघा, परफॉर्मन्स ऑप्टिमायझेशन टागोची अप्रोच, हा पण पेपर बघितलेला. So see, this kind of the things. Download via Google. It means through Sci-Hub, you are able to find out these things. ठीक आहे, एखादा दुसरा बघू आपण. लो परफॉर्मन्स, बॅक जाऊ, ब्रेक सिस्टीम मध्ये. हा समजा नॉवेल ब्रेक सिस्टीम आहे, हा सिलेक्ट केला, पेस्ट केला. आपण नाही. सो लाईकवाईज विल हॅव टू स्टडी, आणि हेच पेपर आपल्याला स्टडी करायचे. हे जे वेबसाईट मी पाठवल्या ग्रुपवर, दॅट वी नीड टू स्टडी ओनली, दॅट्स इट. आणि त्या पद्धतीनेच आपण डाउनलोड करायचे. डाउनलोड कुठलाही पेपर होतोय बघा, हे डाउनलोड लिंक आहे कुठलाही, बट यू मस्ट स्टडी दिस काइंड ऑफ द पेपर. गुगल okay. Now the last point of our today's lecture. Yes, literature review is nothing but the various research paper since last 5 years समजा तुम्ही 2018 मध्ये काम केलं असेल तर त्याच्यानंतर त्याच्या आधीचे 5 वर्षाचे रिसर्च पेपर असे आपल्याला घ्यायला लागतील. आता 2022 मध्ये किंवा 23 मध्ये यू विल हॅव टू सर्च फ्रॉम 2015 ऑनवर्ड्स. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ द थिंग्स विल हॅव टू परफॉर्म. अँड ऑफकोर्स लिटरेचर रिव्ह्यू काय करतं, learn how other have defined and all the major keys, develop the alternative research project, discover how the research project related to work occur. So he point लिहून घ्या about research review. Just write down this point. Check for cipher. Yes. हा पेपर एक ओपन झाला बघा, म्हणजे ह्याच्यात कंटिन्युअस बसायला लागतं तर ते समजतं. बघा मी शेअर स्क्रीन करतो. नाव सी मी काय केलं, हा पेपर होता. येस, जॉमेट्रिकल ग्रेडियंट हा पेपर इथं आहे बघा. एक मिनिट, बघा हा पेपर घेतला मी. जॉमेट्रिकल ग्रेडियंट कुठे आहे, हे हा. याचा PDF अवेलेबल नाहीये, ठीक आहे. सो मी याच्यावर क्लिक केलं, हा कॉपी केला आणि साय हबला पेस्ट केला. तो हे बघा जॉमेट्रिकल ग्रेडियंट परत एकदा पेस्ट करून दाखवतो. सो विल गेट द थिंग्स. जस्ट आय हॅव पेस्टेड ओव्हर हियर. ओपन म्हणलं. Now this is going to open. See, this is the kind nanotechnology journal आहे आणि under that we have got this kind of the research paper. ठीक आहे. हे इझिली ऍक्सेस झालं. हे मला डाउनलोड करायचं, इथं गेलो मी, डाउनलोड क्लिक केलं. आय हॅव टू सेव्ह इट, दॅट्स इट. सो थिंग्स आर लाईक दिस. हे सेव्ह करू शकतो मी रिक्वायरमेंट नुसार. तर तुम्हाला असं कधीच होणार नाही की मी काहीतरी काम करतोय आणि त्याच्यातला मला रिसर्च पेपर मिळत नाहीयेत, अशक्य आहे. म्हणजे ते कुठलाही रिसर्च पेपर कधी, इथे दुसरी एक वेबसाईट आहे मी तुम्हाला सांगतो, टेलर अँड फ्रान्सिस. टेलर अँड फ्रान्सिस, दिस इज द जर्नल. याच्यात एक पेपर पब्लिश करणं म्हणजे PhD एवढं आहे फॉरेन कंट्रीज मध्ये, लक्षात ठेवा. सो दिस थिंग्स आर देअर, व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. इथं पण तुम्ही टॉपिक कुठलाही टाकू शकता किंवा त्यांच्या टॉपिकचे सर्च करू शकता. त्यांचे जर्नल्स बघायचे, कुठल्या कॉम्पिटिशन, मेकॅनिकल इंजिनिअरिंग मध्ये काय मेकॅनिकल मध्ये पाहिजेत तर त्या केसमध्ये मेकॅनिकल जर्नलचे कंडिशन्स, बुक्स, पेपर्स, हे बघा जर्नल्स आहेत वेगवेगळे. मशिनिंग, जर्नल ऑफ ऑस्ट्रेलियन, हे डायरेक्ट तुम्ही कॉपी पेस्ट केलं गुगलमध्ये, तुम्हाला त्या जर्नलचे रिस्पेक्टिव्ह फाइंडिंग्स मिळतील. सो लाइकवाइज सर्च यू नीड टू डू. ठीक आहे. हे ऑस्ट्रेलियन जर्नल, मेकॅनिकल इंजिनिअरिंग, लिस्ट ऑफ इश्यूज, ठीक आहे. हे व्हॉल्युम्स आले बघा, हे रिसर्च पेपर आले. ह्याच्यात तुम्हाला काय तुमचा टॉपिक असेल तर इथं सर्च मारा. आता ब्रेक सिस्टीम जर म्हणलं तर सर्च म्हणायचं, त्या ब्रेक सिस्टीमचे जर्नल्स येतात. ही पण स्टँडर्ड साईड आहे. तुम्हाला मी ही पण पाठवतो म्हणजे तुम्हाला ते ऍटलिस्ट लक्षात राहील. डिझाईन कॅड मध्ये पण टाकतो. हॅव यू अंडरस्टूड दिस? अरे समजलं का, मी एकटाच बोलतोय, तुम्हाला कळालं का?
हा सर कळलं.
Such kind of the things you need to select. आता स्टडी ऑफ व्हायब्रेशन ब्रेक सिस्टीम याची PDF याच्यात मिळत नाही, साय हब मध्ये मिळते का बघू आपण. So this is a kind of search engine and a knowledgeable base. Now see, no PDF. Yes, got it. See, open व्हायला लागले. म्हणजे कुठलीही वेबसाईट असेल, यू कॅन टेक अ बेनिफिट थ्रू सायअप. या गोष्टी माहित असू द्या आणि तुमच्या पॉइंट ऑफ व्ह्यू आता मोठी दिसते, डाउनलोड होते. सो दिस विल बी द बेसिकली रिसर्च क्रायटेरिया. म्हणजे कुठलाही पेपर, आता हे त्याच्या ऑथरचं नाव CADME जे लेक्चर आहे, आता जस्टच मॅडमचा फोन आलेला. CADME सेकंड 11:15 होणार नाही बरं का लेक्चर. ते सॅटर्डे किंवा मंडेला घेतील मॅडम.
सर ते पॉइंट्स लिहायचे राहिले होते.
Okay, no problem. Points, I'll share the PPT.
ओके सर.
Because about to finish, we are going to complete this our first unit. आपलं बऱ्यापैकी झाले ऑलरेडी. 4 दुने 8 8 तास आपण घेतलेला आहे. पहिलं युनिट आज आपण म्हणजे ही लास्टची स्लाइड होती ऍक्च्युली. Just wait, I am showing the download content. See, this is Australian journal and these are the content. This हा रिसर्च पेपर आहे त्यांचा प्रॉपर. ठीक आहे, हे बघा रीडिंग्स केवढे आहेत. असं नाही की बाबा एक काहीतरी कॅल्क्युलेट केले, नंबर ऑफ रीडिंग्स आर देअर. डाउनलोड डाउनलोड. ओके, ठीक आहे. तर आता बॅक टू आपल्या स्लाइड्स कडे जाऊ. ठीक आहे, दिस इज अबाउट लिटरेचर. And last point is attributes of the research. Basic attributes we need to study. Of course, basic attributes in that we'll have to study. The objectives are very important. The content in the methodology which we are using, that is also important. It should not be biased, systematic. Moreover, good research, whatever the block diagram we have drawn, same points. Okay, and this is our first topic, first unit we have completed. So almost 36 slides are there. I'll share this slide after completion of today's session. Okay, anyone has any doubt, let me know. Satyajit, Sampada.
No, sir.
Okay, okay. So I'll share the PPT of this. So we'll meet in next session. Thank you. Sure.
थँक्यू सर.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.